Hello, everyone. Yeah, it's me. Yes, Chris Sanders, Swifty Sanders, the urban spokesman. I am here in my neighborhood of Harlem. And yeah, so earlier, I was promoting a bike ride that I'm having with, we're calling it the Harlem Family Bike Ride with, you know, uh, hosted by Councilmember Kristen Richardson Jordan, and so yeah, so I'm still outside. I'm still a little heated because of a confrontation that is all too common whenever Black people decide to advocate for themselves. And a white person isn't leading up the movement. So earlier today, I was with some kids, some street team who is helping me advocate for a protected bike lane on Adam Clayton Powell, in the center of Adam Clayton Powell, to protect the people, to protect the pedestrians and the kids riding the city bike, all that. In Harlem, because it's dangerous on the street, and I've seen people getting hit firsthand. So in any case, a white woman starts walking up and it's like, "Oh, you can't post the posters on the street, or you can't hand out the posters on the street." And I'm a reasonable guy. I try to entertain a little bit of like, "Oh, okay, I didn't know that." Blah, blah, blah. Apparently, people know her as Crazy Wendy, which I didn't know. I didn't realize she was notorious for being racist towards Black activism. So, in any case, she's like telling me all this. I'm like, all right. I got it. And I tell her, like, look, you need to take it up with, you don't like trans alt or Kristen Richardson Jordan, the city council woman, like, you need to take it up with them. All right. Like, she won't leave it alone. She keeps going in. Finally, I told her, look, you gentrifying, leave us alone. Go home. You made your point. It's over. She just can't let it go. I'm like, girl, don't make me turn Black in Harlem. Well, I mean, no one would be shocked by that. The one thing I really hate is whenever, like, Black people try to better themselves, try to better their neighborhood, try to educate themselves. I always notice that white people have something negative to say about it, something negative to add about it, and it's really frustrating, and it really needs to stop. Nitpicking Black people to death is exhausting, and they don't understand the amount of mental harm that they're doing to Black people and to kids when they do that. It's not helpful. Like, you stated your piece. I gave you the space to state your piece and move on. And that means you need to move on and let it go. Or, just take it up with people who can do something about it, or who can say, "Oh, well, we shouldn't do this," but the whole point of activism, there is an element of civil disobedience to activism, and handing out flyers or posting flyers for a family bike ride, which we have the permits from the police department to have, is perfectly fine and should be expected. In any case, I don't know how you all feel about it. I don't think it should discourage you from advocating for safe transportation infrastructure in your neighborhood. And I'm talking to you, minorities and Black people who are not used to advocating for their own best interest, for their needs. Like, white people, it's only acceptable if you're begging for crumbs or begging for food. It's never acceptable if you say to them, if you say, oh no, I want more than that. I want, better transportation or better living conditions, or be able to get a good, solid education so I can have a high-paying job and compete at the same level as everyone else in the world. Nope, that's never they're never happy when you advocate for something that's going to materially benefit you and benefit your community and help your life. Look, I'm used to, like, when I was a kid, I grew up in a beautiful black neighborhood. It was nice, it was beautiful, it was safe, and I believe that everybody should have that, regardless of their income level. You should, and I just think that, people should not get discouraged because whenever you strike a chord, whenever you're starting to strike a chord, or whenever you're starting to actually make progress, they say a hit dog will holler. People will start getting all angry about it and being in their feelings. But the bottom line is, in Harlem, we have been neglected for far too long on safe, non-car transportation, and in many cases, it's been, some of our elected leaders and some of our unelected leaders who have been stifling the progress of black people in Harlem, and I want to finally fix it so the younger black people like younger than me, and including myself, can all benefit from it going forward. But also the older generation, they will too benefit from safe transportation infrastructure in Harlem. Right now, Harlem is like Community Board 10 is the only area in Manhattan that has the lowest amount of transportation investment, the lowest amount of safe transportation infrastructure. The bus lanes don't really work because the city designed it wrong, and then we need better bus lanes. We need better bike lanes, because the bike lanes actually protect the drivers and the pedestrians as much as it protects the cyclists, and also it gets the cyclists off the sidewalk, which is nice. But my point is that, whenever I'm still hot and angry because I had this confrontation with this woman, and I was starting to lose it a little bit, which I'm like, who are you to tell me how to do my activism? Who are you? Back off. Y'all complaining that black people ain't doing this and that, and now I'm trying to better myself, and you have something to say. Girl, step back. I gave you the space to listen to your concern, and now I'm gonna need you to step back. I'm gonna need Karens to step back, to sit there and shut up, and to just leave us the hell alone. Good grief, God. In a city like New York, you have Karens everywhere, undercover racists who pretend they're liberal, and they're really not. They're just racist, and they just come after black people for nitpicky shit. Excuse my language. But you all get my point, and hopefully the rest of America will, and hopefully we will get that Central Harlem Bikeway built that goes from 110th on Adam Clayton Powell all the way to 153rd and the McCombs Dam Bridge, so that way black and Latino people, and really everybody of all races, doesn't matter, can travel safely on Adam Clayton Powell to Central Park to access the rest of the city for their jobs and their livelihood and their relaxation. In any case, I hope you have all are having a wonderful night, and let's make it a great day.